I hope you're well. For those who don't know me, it's Ben from My Cycling Coach, where we have now helped over 500 cyclists hit 3 watts per kilo and beyond with their riding. I make these videos as I've now been doing this for the past 10 to 15 years, research, study, in the field, coaching, but also with my own training. And if I can help you fast track to your results without having to take 10 to 15 years to get there, then I've done my job through making these videos and this content. So today's topic, what I wanted to speak to you about, we've now really, I think it's safe to say, winter is here. And yeah, it's time to start maybe getting some winter training in. You may have come off the back of summer now into the autumn, still doing a little bit of riding early in the autumn. But generally, many will have then sort of end of October, early November, just some easy, recovery weeks, just having a bit of a easier few weeks there. This could also be just because, as we come into the back end of the year, things do start to really ramp up with work, family. It's just generally a busy time of the year. However, the motivation, the itch might just be starting there already. You may start looking, I've got some events in the diary for next year. You may have already got your turbo trainer set up. If you watch some of my earlier videos, you may have seen that one guarantee you success. You may now have your training room set up. You may have your turbo trainer there ready to go. And you may have just started to think about getting the legs turning again, doing some winter training. Now, today I really wanted to make this video just as a please from me, as one thing I really want you to do, and a mistake that I've seen so many riders make in the past, and this is starting their winter training at the FTP that they were using in the summer, midsummer, when they were probably at their fittest in the year, doing the most miles through the week, lots of different types of riding, probably going out and doing longer rides at the weekend, more intensity through the week. What they will then do is they will take that FTP, and then maybe after 2 or 3 weeks off, or that volume of training really having reduced now over the past few weeks, they will jump on and try to ride or train at that FTP that they were in the summer. And through this, they will find they'll really struggle to complete training sessions, which is a negative one, obviously from a physical standpoint. So you're physiologically being able to then make any progress, because if you're not completing the sessions, then you're not accumulating the time in the zones that you need to actually make progress with your power and fitness. But then also from that psychological side of things, the mental side, if you're jumping on and you're trying to do some really good, quality threshold work, some really good quality VO2 max work, or even just zone 2 sessions, and you're finding those sessions are really hard to complete, or you're having to jump off because you can't complete them, then this is really going to affect your motivation, and that's not the way we want you to start your winter training. So in this case, it really is that saying of it's better to take 1 step back to then take 2 steps forward, rather than jumping on and trying to smash yourself both physically and mentally with harder sessions. So if you are just getting back into your training now in these next few weeks, please perform an FTP test or just some baseline testing so you can find out where your functional threshold power lies. You can then from that get some really nice accurate training zones, both with your power training zones, but if you can also get some heart rate training zones to go with this as well. This is just going to ensure that the sessions you are then performing, if it is a threshold focus session, that you are actually hitting that threshold zone and accumulating time within your threshold zone. Likewise, if it's a VO2 max session, we really want to improve the body's ability to utilize oxygen. Hitting that VO2 max zone, then through getting that FTP, those accurate zones, you know that you're going to be hitting that top end and in the right zone there. And then more importantly, when you're then performing any base miles or zone 2 riding, and this is where the big mistake can be, because if you actually ride at an FTP that you were riding at earlier in the year when you were probably just that bit fitter because you were generally riding more, then if you jump on and try and what is your zone 2 back then now, well, you'll probably find that your zone 2 power is actually a little bit higher, and your heart rate, your cardiovascular response was more efficient. So if you were to jump on now, you'll probably find that that zone 2 work would actually be more like a tempo session. So you won't be getting those zone 2 benefits, those zone 2 adaptations through doing that riding. So that's why it's important that we have that zone 2 really set. So when you're building out your base miles, you're working on your endurance and all of the great adaptations through that type of training, that zone 2 training, that it is absolutely bang on and where it needs to be for you to really then start making progress. As I say, better, you may find that, okay, you're going to take a bit of a step back, but don't get demotivated if your FTP has dropped from the summer. As I say, it's better to just bring it down a little bit now and then actually end the winter at a higher point from potentially where you left off this summer, and make that year-on-year progress, which I always go on about as well. If you followed me for a while, it's about making that year-on-year progression with it. So get that FTP test done. Just wanted to touch on that today. Going to really try and help guide you through the winter as much as I can now. Framework, structure, the nutrition, the fueling. But step 1 for us today really please get an FTP done in the next couple of weeks, just so you've got that baseline, that benchmark set for you to then build on and get ready for a fantastic year on the bike in 2024. If you found that useful today, please, drop a like on the video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please subscribe. As I say, make these videos to help try and fast track you to results, and through everything I've learned in my own training, but working with hundreds of cyclists that we've helped hit 3 watts per kilo and beyond with their training, but also just the health, the fitness benefits and everything to go with that as well. Have a great rest of your day and speak to you soon.